My name is Jenny. I'm 6.5 years old. Since I started kindergarten, my mom took me and dad to play hide and seek. My grandma joined us at first. During the day, when my mom went to work, she would stay at home to take care of me. She bought me sour and sweet hawthorn cake to eat, and took me to the park to blow big colorful bubbles. I especially like my grandmother. My mom is also nice. Every day when she came back from work, she would kiss and hug me, and braid my hair into beautiful braids. She reads fairy tales to me, and put me to sleep. But my dad is very busy. He is busy being the one being searched by others. Dad is very good at playing hide and seek. Whenever mom wants to find him, he would run out of the house and hide. And he hides for a long time. And he couldn't be found. When mom gives up and doesn't want to look for him, he would come back on his own and proudly declared that he had won. I still remember when my father came back. It was often at night, and my mom had already put me to sleep. I would play with a white horse with wings, play with a white pony with wings. But as soon as my father came in, I would wake up immediately, because the sound of his closing the door is very loud like thunder. And he always had a bad smell on him. Oh, I remember now. Just like the taste of expired wine-flavored chocolate. The little white horse with wings doesn't like that smell. Will fly away from my dream. I don't like that smell either. Unfortunately, I don't have wings, and can't fly away. I could only lie on the small bed in the bedroom. I heard my dad talking loudly to my mom and grandma. He spoke so fiercely. Even the big devil in the cartoon is not as fierce as him. Sometimes I would hear the sound of something being dropped, and the chairs would all fall to the ground, and the bowls and plates on the table also suffered. Every doll sleeping beside me was scared, and I was scared too. I'm afraid they will be like my piggy bank, be thrown on the ground by my dad, and shattered into pieces, and couldn't be put back together. Once I was so scared that I quietly climbed out of the cot. Peeking through the crack of the bedroom door, I saw my thin and small grandmother trying to stand between my father and mother, and shouted angrily at my dad. Then she suddenly stopped talking, covering her chest, and fell down. Fell down was a big bookshelf, and the bookcase fell on the floor together, and didn't move at all. Dad didn't say anything, but immediately turned around and escaped through the door, leaving only my mother kneeling on the floor making a call. Then she threw the phone and threw herself on Grandma and cried. A white ambulance soon came and took Grandma away. I never saw my grandmother again. My mom said that Grandma was also playing a game of hide and seek with us, and Grandma hid very well. It may take us a lifetime to find her again. I felt very sad. Then when my mom told me that she and my dad, more than the fact that my mom and dad divorced. Anyway, my dad always likes to hide and not be seen. In contrast, I prefer my grandma. She's not at home. I miss her very much. My mom tried to cheer me up, said she would play hide and seek with me. But this time, it wasn't us who went to find Dad, but we had to hide and not let Dad find us again. So my mom and I hid from one house to another. We changed many places to live, but Dad is really good at playing hide and seek. He was good at hiding himself, and even better when he was looking for us. No matter where my mom took me to hide, even if we moved to another city, he could still find us. Even if mom hid in the bathroom or wardrobe, he could still find her. But the father who won the game doesn't look happy at all. Instead, he angrily pulled my mom's hair, dragging her out of the hiding place. And then he would hit her head against the wall. Sometimes Dad's foot would even step on her body and face. Even the marks on the soles of his shoes stuck to her face. I remember my mom told me that if I walk on the road, if I accidentally step on someone with my foot, I should take my foot away immediately and remember to say sorry. But Dad would just keep stepping on her and never says sorry to Mom. I really want to tell Dad that this is wrong, but Mom told me to hide in the box obediently and not come out, and not be found by Dad. Otherwise, we will lose a game of hide and seek completely. Mom will be unhappy. I love my mom very much and make Mom happy, so I had to hide well. I can't go out until Dad leaves. I asked my mom, if Dad didn't find me in this hide and seek game, did we win this game? Mom didn't say anything, just hugged me and cried hard. Those tears fell on my mother and take root in the skin and grow into large areas of flowers. At first, the petals were light yellow and soon turned into dark red and purple. In a few days, the flowers will wither and gradually wither, shrinking into a small green ball and gradually disappeared. When I first saw those flowers, I didn't know what they were. I was scared. My mom told me they were all flowers. I was not so scared anymore. I even wanted to reach out and touch them. But those flowers hurt my mom when they touched her. I didn't dare to touch them. Actually, I don't like playing hide and seek with my dad, and I didn't want to see my mom with those painful flowers on her body. But Dad wouldn't stop, so she had to continue to hide with me. Every time Dad finds us, there would be many flowers on her body. The little white horse with wings refused to fly into my dreams anymore, because the bad smell on my dad's body smell of expired wine-flavored chocolate. It's so annoying. Once he even tore my favorite doll and tore it apart. The money that Mom hid in the doll, and all the money was taken away by him. Mom tried to hold Dad back and didn't let him go, saying that it was for my kindergarten tuition. He didn't listen, and even kicked my mom a few times. When Dad left, I took a small basin to wash my mom's face, because Mom's face was dirty, mud on her face. Mom's face is very beautiful, and it shouldn't be dirty. Seeing my mom crying sadly again, I put my arms around her neck and comforted her. It's okay, Mom. I don't have to go to kindergarten and not play with other children. I just need my mom by my side. My mother made up her mind without telling anyone. She quietly took me from the city to the countryside. We lived in the old house where my grandmother used to live. The old house was in a poor condition, far away from other houses. It's lonely and has no friends, but it was still a great old house, because there is a big yard behind the house, where I can bask in the warm sun every day. I can grow eggplants, cucumbers, and tomatoes, and also grow beautiful flowers. I love it here. Even the little white horse with wings also came back to my dream. Said it liked living here. But my mom is still not happy. She often secretly hides in the room to wipe tears, and often has nightmares at night. I asked the little white horse with wings if you could fly into Mom's dream night. I want my mom to be as happy as me. The white pony said no, it can't fly there, because Mom couldn't sleep all night and can't have a good dream. Luckily, my mom found a doctor in town to prescribe pills. It's a small white and round pill. One pill every night can help her fall asleep. I'm also greedy. I really want to try. But my mom said no, these are only for adults to take, and children can't take them. Okay, I listened to my mom the most. Mom said no, then I will never touch it. I don't have to go to school anymore. I accompany my mom to plant and water in the yard. I watch the seedlings grow up little by little, and the leaves grow green, and they also bloom lovely flowers. I'm very happy. When there's nothing to do, I would sit with my mom in the yard. We basked in the sun with the little flowers and butterflies. When those flowers bear tomatoes and cucumbers, my mother was finally happy. Every night, even without taking pills, I can sleep soundly with me in her arms, I think. The little white horse with wings can fly freely in my mother's dream. It's so good. A terrible thing happened. Dad found us again. After he came, he first trampled to death the seedlings in the yard. The shelves that Mom built for the seedlings and the shelves he built for them were also knocked down. The newly blooming flowers on the loofah vine fell everywhere. Mom rushed over to stop Dad and was punched in the head by my dad. Seeing my mom lying on the ground and unable to get up, I was scared. I stayed by my mom's side. I didn't dare to move. I was very panicked. What should I do? Dad has found both me and Mom now. He only won the game of hide and seek. Mom and I both lost. Will we be punished badly if we lose? Fortunately, my dad didn't pay attention to me at this time, but just scolded and entered the room. I saw he was carrying a big bottle in his hand, and the bottle was filled with transparent water. The water smelled like chocolate, which is my most hated smell. After a long time, Dad didn't come out, and my mom didn't wake up. I didn't know what to do. I ran into the room. I saw that the big bottle was empty, and there was not a drop of stinky water left. Dad was lying by the table. Sometimes he seemed to be asleep, and then seemed to be awakened. He was mumbling to himself with a loud and fierce voice. I guessed that Dad must have had a nightmare. When he wakes up from a nightmare, he would be even more unhappy and more likely to lose his temper. It would be nice if Dad could sleep a little longer. Sleeping Dad is not as scary as awake Dad. At this time, I thought of the pills my mom had taken before. Although Mom said children can't take those pills, only adults can take them. Fortunately, Dad is an adult, and he can take those pills. Just then, Dad woke up in a daze again. He said he was thirsty and growled at me to get him a glass of water. I took out the pills that my mom had left over and threw a few more in the water glass. I poured water for him. Dad drank all the water. Before falling asleep, he complained that the water tasted bitter and smashed the cup. Then he fell asleep. I watched carefully nearby. I said to the little white horse with wings, when Dad falls asleep, you can fly into his dream and stay for a while, and make Dad happier in his dream and wake up later. Although every time before, I and my mom always lost the hide and seek game, but it doesn't matter. The game of hide and seek can be started again. This time, my mom and I can take advantage of Dad's sleep hide far away so that he can't find us anymore. The little white horse listened to me flies into Dad's dream, but Dad didn't like it and was angry. Although I couldn't see what was in Dad's dream, but I know that at this time, was yelling in his dream, because his hands and feet were shaking, and made a strange sound of hee in his throat. His face was also flushed red, his eyebrows and nose were squeezed together, trembling, which looked very scary. I didn't know what to do. Luckily, my mom woke up at this time and walked in from the door. I quickly ran over and hugged my mother. I told my mom that I gave Dad his pills, and Dad is angry now. Mom, let's hide now before he finds us. Otherwise, in the new game of hide and seek, we will lose again. Mom didn't say anything at first, just stood there looking at Dad, and rolled on the ground in pain, and glanced at the empty bottle next to Dad. There was a big purple flower on his face, which made Mom's face look much bigger than before. After a while, Mom gently held me, comforting me that I shouldn't be afraid. We didn't need to run away or hide, because Dad was just angry at the moment. After a while, he would not be angry anymore. I was relieved at once. I believed my mother's words, and she is the best, and never lies to me. Even if I saw my father squeezing his throat with both hands, like a fish out of water, with his mouth wide open, heaving and gasping, and his eyes rolled white. I wasn't worried at all. Mom said Dad would get better. My mom and I waited patiently by his side until the sun set. Dad really stopped being angry. He became quiet. His expression became very calm. He lay peacefully on the ground. His hands and feet were soft and fell aside. He seemed to have no strength at all. He must have slept soundly and had a happy dream. I asked my mom if Dad was really happy this time. He won't be so angry and yell at us anymore, will he? My mom hugged me tightly and said with tears, "Yes, my dear daughter, Dad will never be angry with us again." Dad slept for a long time. Mom put him on the bed in the innermost room and covered his face with a towel. He said the recent sunlight was too harsh on his eyes, which would make Dad sleep more comfortably, and told me not to disturb Dad when he was sleeping. I listened to my mother. Only when I'm occasionally too bored, I couldn't help but be curious to peek at my sleeping dad. But I saw that Dad had wet the bed and made the whole bed wet. It's so embarrassing. Since I started kindergarten, I haven't wet the bed again. I didn't expect that my father, who is an adult, would still wet the bed. Ha! And Dad has also gained weight, just like a balloon that has been blown up, and pushed the quilt on top of him up. My mom found me peeking and hurried over to drive me away. Even if she didn't let me peek, I could still smell the stench coming from the room. This smell is completely different from the smell of the liquor chocolate. It feels 100 times worse. It must be because Dad hasn't showered for too long that he became so smelly. Even though my dad is so smelly, I still think the dad who is sleeping quietly now is better than the dad who scolded and beat people. 100 times better. Neighbors nearby came to ask once why things smelled so bad. Mom showed the neighbor the things piled up in the backyard, saying that we plan to grow mushrooms and made some new compost, and it smells a bit. I'm really sorry. After the neighbor left, my mom told me seriously a new game of hide and seek was about to begin. But this time, it wasn't Dad who was looking for us, but we were going to help Dad play hide and seek and not let him be found by others. This sounds really fun. I agreed right away. On a moonlit night, Mom dragged my dad out of the room while he was asleep. At this time, Dad had changed from the original very fat to very thin, so thin that his flesh couldn't cover his bones. When he was dragged across the threshold, he gently bumped against the threshold. A large leg bone fell off his body. I've seen this look before. The doll that my dad broke before was almost like this. The arms and legs were scattered all over the floor. So I ran over and picked up the fallen bones and handed it to my mom. When my doll was broken, my mom would help me put back the broken arms and legs. Could my mom put Dad's legs? Should be able to put them back together. My mom is the most amazing mom in the world. She helped my dad put his leg back on and dug a big hole in the backyard so that Dad could lie in it completely and lie in it comfortably. Then she buried the hole with soil and grow vegetables and mushrooms, so no one can find the hidden father. Although I don't know this time who Dad is playing hide and seek with, but I think with my help and Mom's, he will definitely win. My mom and I also had a great time. The shelf that was broken by Dad were quickly fixed by my mom. The seedlings are lying on the shelf, and they grow very fast. We also took in a puppy. It was skinny and small when it first came to my home, but my mom and I soon made it fat. It's very cute. I usually feed the puppy and play with it. But I didn't forget my dad hiding under the vegetable field. I water my dad every day. In summer, it's hot. I'm afraid he'll get thirsty if he sleeps too long. Now, Dad has a much better temper than before, and never gets angry at me anymore. Every time he drinks the water I water, the soil covering him, the soil grows very delicious mushrooms. Every time Mom picks the mushrooms and stir-fries them, I can eat 2 more bowls of rice. But Dad hides in the pit every day. He may be bored. Once it rained heavily. The rain washed away some soil. I saw my dad's hand bone sticking out of the soil, as if he wanted to play with me. I gently held my father's hand and didn't let go. That was the first time I held my father's hand. I felt so strange. If only my dad, who was awake, could be so gentle. How great it would be. After the rain stopped, where my dad slept, grew a new seedling with a purple-red bud on it. Watching the bud open little by little, I was very happy. My father finally bloomed flowers on his body. Officer, I have answered all the questions you asked. Can I go home with my mom now?